Hi, I'm Jeff Bailey, and today we're going to talk about gluteal tendinopathy. Yeah, that's a mouthful. What is it? What are the symptoms? And what are some of the possible causes? But most importantly, how can we solve this pain? The glutes are the muscles in the back of the hip. They stabilize us, they extend the hip, they have functions to help us stand upright and walk. But is the problem really there in the gluteal muscles? No, they get inflamed. And what gets inflamed but the tendon that it connects to the femur head? Tendonitis is when the tendons get inflamed. Tendinopathy suggests a deeper kind of inflammation that starts to encroach into the muscle itself. It's a unique form of pain. But is that the problem? Something must be causing that. And so we tend to go for strengthening and stretching and look all around the body for things that we can do. But in Avita Yoga, we trust that the problem will be revealed to us if we just follow the sensation in. And that's what the succeeding shapes are going to do for you. When we take care of the bones and joints, the muscles take care of themselves. They just start to be happy and more supple. Let's start with a couple simple exercises you can do from the comfort of your own chair right now. You're probably sitting in a chair now. Okay, this is a genuine question. Can you cross one leg over the other? If that comes easy, you can maybe make a little adjustment and see if you can improve on the shape at all. Now, slowly start to curve forward, bringing your forehead towards your knee. What do you feel? See, it's all about the feedback. Do you feel any stiffness in your lower back? Can you feel a tightness that might want to release in your lower back? Freedom in the lower back can oftentimes mean freedom elsewhere in the body. Can you let your arms hang and relax as you let the entire spine curve, bringing your forehead towards your knee? Now, before you start getting bored, let me remind you this is not exercise. You are here to heal your hip. To heal the hip means that we're cleansing and remodeling the inner mechanics and the inner workings of your hip joint. As the hip joint itself starts to heal, the surrounding muscle tissues and tendons will take care of themselves. We want to spend about 1.5 to 2 minutes in a shape like this. For the sake of the video, I'm going to come up on out of the shape. The shapes are simple enough. You can just do these on your own. You can turn off the video or hit pause and take the time to do the shape. See and sense what comes up. Let's just do the other side. We'll cross the other leg over if it's doable. If not, just hang loose. We'll get to another option. I'm not stretching my muscles. As I curve forward, I'm asking them to release. There's a difference between stretch and release. It's always waiting patiently for the release and for the changes to occur. I want to be able to feel the sit bones heavy and present on the back of the chair. I want to feel the curvature of my entire spine. If possible, let the arms hang at the sides. My forehead coming toward the knee. The muscles release and healing compression goes in deep into the joint. So the deeper you feel the sensation, the safer and the more effective it is in the moment. But if the muscles are really tight, they're tight because of this underlying problem, we have to just slowly peel the layers till the muscles start to release. But there's no need to push the shape. There's no need to rush it because even if you can't feel it, the pressure is happening deep inside your hip joint. The muscle stiffness is stopping you, but the compression deep in the hip is still happening. That's why it's important to give yourself some peaceful time in the moment, in the shape. If you need to, go ahead and watch your clock. Give it 1.5 to 2 minutes. and then raise up slowly. We don't have to sweat. We don't have to burn calories. We really don't have to exercise at all to keep our joints healthy. We just have to find the restrictions and dissolve them. Here's another way we often sit. Cross your ankle over your knee. Can you do it? I'm not asking the question to push you. I'm asking the question because I genuinely want you to ask yourself, is this a possible shape? Okay, what if it's not? Sit back in the chair a little bit. Yeah, low ride a little bit. Okay, so now my knee just got lower, and now maybe I can put my foot up on my knee. Okay, still the idea, letting the muscles release, finding your way into your hip joint, that big ball and socket joint. Okay, so maybe this is your entry, and then look, you start to bend the knee, bring the foot in closer. Maybe it takes you a few weeks to advance the shape this much, but healing is happening in your hip the whole time. Let's release that foot to the floor. For practical purposes, let's say your situation is acute. Cross the left leg over the right knee. See, I'm, I'm kind of slouching in the chair, and then maybe bending the knee. As I bend the knee and bring my foot in closer, it changes the relationship into my hip, changing the pressure, increasing the pressure a little bit. Okay. And then with time and practice, maybe you're able to have the shape seated upright and still, okay, the shape comes readily. Then you curve forward, slowly bringing your forehead towards your foot, over your knee. The foot, the knee, and the supporting foot all stacked on top of one another. Let the arms hang at the sides. Feel my spine curve, tip to tail, and welcome the sensation, in this case, in the left hip. You can use a timer or you can trust your intuition. If the sensation gets to be too strong or too demanding, raise up a little bit. But don't come out of the shape all the way. Just raise up a little bit, diminish the pressure. Ah, there, it's doable right there. It feels good, it feels warm, it feels inviting. When you feel the time is up, you rest back. We try not to move quickly or abruptly. You can use your hands, slowly release. Going into the shape, being in the shape, and releasing yourself from the shape, all important part of the yoga. Okay, I'm going to show you another approach to the same movements. Okay, we set the chair aside. We're going to transition to the wall. Hopefully you have some wall space. Here's the secret to getting your legs up on the wall. Have a yoga mat down or a blanket. Give yourself a little bit of cushion. Scoot in fairly close to the wall. I'm sitting right on the edge of the mat, and I roll back and put my legs up on the wall at the same time. Support your head with a firm cushion or a bolster. Rest your arms at your sides. The benefits to having legs up the wall are countless. Trust that all kinds of good things are happening resting in this shape. For starters, your entire spine has to adapt to the floor, which means movement in the vertebral bodies, one against the other. Remember the shapes we did in the chair? You got to make sure you're not too close to the wall. Okay, it's always easier to inch away from the wall than scoot in close, which is why we start close. We want the knees straight, which means they're extending without any effort. Tailbone and the low back rest on the floor. Cross the right leg all the way over the left. See the similarity? slowly bend the left knee. All right, I'm not going for a stretch. I may feel a stretchy sensation, and that's where I rest. I got to give it time to unwind and release. Meanwhile, the bones and joints are enjoying healing compression, whether I feel it or not. As an option, you can take hold of the foot or the lower leg with your hand and very thoughtfully, gently move it toward the floor. This puts a rotation through the entire leg, rotating the ball in the socket, maybe touching against an arthritic or irritated part of the hip. Give it the compression it craves. You'll feel a little, maybe a little pain initially, but then it starts to abate and just starts to feel so welcome and healing. Okay, 1.5 to 2 minutes here. I would release the foot, extend the knee, wait a moment, just wait, and then release the leg up. Oh my gosh, patience. Just be very patient with yourself. Be here and now. Okay, we would do the other side, crossing the left leg over, slowly bending the right knee, potentially taking the foot with your hand. Okay, and then pause the video here. Give yourself 1.5 to 2 minutes. Peaceful minutes. Release your foot, straighten the knee, and then put your foot back up on the wall. It's very important to understand you do not need to advance the shape in order to reap the benefits of this practice. So, for example, if you cross your leg over and you already feel sensation in one or both hips, go no further. Rest in that sensation. Give the sensation you feel initially the time that it wants and needs. Okay, you probably imagine where we're going next. Right ankle, left knee. It's the figure 4 shape. And then we slowly slide the foot down the wall. I wait until I get mild sensation. It feels stretchy, but I'm not pushing the stretch. I rest my arms at the sides, I close my eyes, and I let the healing compression occur naturally. I let the healing and the yoga come to me. I push for nothing. One and a half to 2 minutes. Straighten the knee. Release the right heel up on the wall. Go to the other side. Left ankle on the thigh, just below the knee. It's not the kneecap itself, so that when you bend the knee and slide the foot down, you feel and look for the very first sensation, a little bit stretchy, but not aggressive. You let your bones have weight, you let your legs have weight, you let the wall support you, you feel your head supported on the bolster, you feel your spine adapting to the floor. You can close your eyes and you can rest assured that the healing is happening without effort. You just got to give yourself time in some unusual shapes to stimulate the physiology that will cleanse and heal your joints and take care of any resulting tendinopathy or tendinosis or tendinitis. 1.5 to 2 minutes. You release your heel back up the wall. Put the second heel up on the wall. Close your eyes. Pause. And then bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Roll onto one side and push yourself up. Okay, so those are two approaches to gluteal tendinopathy. Or we could say two approaches to all kinds of problems that could happen in and around the hip. Maybe it's just arthritis in your hip. Maybe you're concerned about needing a hip replacement someday. Now is the time to start. You can turn these things around by giving your bones the compression they crave. I covered a very typical way to approach these shapes and this healing process by simply sitting in a chair. Even better is reclined and putting your legs up the wall because it induces a change throughout the entire backside. It puts us in a very kind relationship to gravity where all the pressures work properly for us. How often would you have shapes like this? You could do these shapes once a day. You can see it's not going to take long. It's peaceful presence, gentle healing time in the shapes that matters the most. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep showing you lots of ways to take care of your hips and all the major joints in your body. With time and practice, you'll naturally want to give your bones and joints the pressure they love. Thank you, and namaste.